So hopefully everybody was able to get out and barbecue and enjoy some fireworks and remembering what we're so excited about with 4th of July. But it was a good day here, and we're excited about all the great things that are happening and how the company is going and what's being said now. I don't know how many of you guys are on Facebook, but I was reading a quote that Chris put out. I thought it was a really good quote. And he was talking about, before you go out looking for godly people, make sure God is in you. And I thought that was really good. I had thought that was really good. I hadn't read anything like that from him. I can't remember, if ever. So I thought that was really good, because we have to remember that with our Surge 365 business, people are coming on board, and you want people that are like you, people that you want to work with. So I just thought that just popped up in my mind again. I read it yesterday. So I thought I would just share that, and just letting everybody know that the company is constantly connecting with us. I know they're having different meetings. They have a lot of meetings in Baltimore and Virginia. And so if you have anybody that's in that area, definitely get them to those meetings, let them know who sent you, have them to go to Chris and all the different leaders that are there, and let them know that you were invited by whomever on the call here. And that's really nice to know, because then that way it just lets the company see that we're reaching out throughout the United States. We're just not limited to what state we're in, because that's what's so great about this business. Now that we are down here in Charleston, I don't think we have anybody in the business in this state that is in our team. Now, there are a lot of people in this state that's in Surge 365, but no one that's in our team. But yet we're still welcome to go to meetings and different things like that. I think they're a few hours away, though. But that's what's so great about the company. No matter where you are, you feel free to go and send your people too, and know that they're going to be taken care of. And whoever they're meeting, I know I know Ron's on the call. I know Ron has gone to several company meetings and company events, and he just went to the last thing they had on in March, and he's definitely letting everyone know whose team he's in. And then, of course, with Rick and I being here so long, people recognize our name, and of course they know us. We do a lot of social media pictures, Rick does anyway, so people see us constantly. But that's just what I wanted to share, to kind of remember what our Surge 365 business is about. It's about getting out, meeting people, making friends. And I think when we do that, we'll find that our business will grow however you want it to grow. And then I was reading something, and it said that you're where you are because that's where you want to be. And then I thought, oh, yeah, that is kind of true, because nobody has more control over you than you. So if there's anything that's going on with you that you don't like, then you can control that. So I just thought that was really interesting, because we never think about how much internal control we have. Now, granted, there's a lot of external stuff that we have no control over, but when it comes to the internal, yes, go right ahead.
That's true, but I would say you're where you are because that's what you believe.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, it's not really where you want to be, but the fact is that's what you believe about
that's
yourself.
What you believe.
Back to you.
Right. And you know, that's so true, because what you believe too, you can limit yourself with your belief and not believing that you have the potential to do what you want to do. You know, you could do whatever you want to do and be wherever you want to be, but you just have to believe in yourself to do it. And like you know, Rick, we listen to a lot of self-motivating videos, especially on YouTube. They're packed on YouTube. You could, like Norval, you could sit there and watch Norval all day because there's an hour here, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 15 minutes there, and just watch it over and over and over until you get what he's saying, because you pulled up one that we listened to the other day, and that was pretty powerful on the belief. And I really liked the story that you shared with me on him saying to his brother, we're going to see this play, but yet the tickets was all sold out. But having the belief that they were going to go, circumstances worked out in their favor, and they were able to go to the play, and not even go to the play, but they were able to go to the play VIP for the regular ticket price. And so when you start believing things like that, watch how it comes to pass. I know even when we started at the beginning of the year, there were so many places on our calendar that we wanted to go, so many places, things we wanted to do, especially with, going to Jamaica for my birthday. And then I forget where else we went this year, but we had other places that we wanted to go. Of course, that's all I'm going to remember is my birthday. But, your family reunion. And then there was other things. And our July plans, my brother, it didn't go through. So he didn't get started with his restaurant. So that's probably on hold. I don't know if we'll make it there for his restaurant opening. But, what we want to do in August, in Canada, and then we have an open invitation from Juliet now to come down to Costa Rica. And when you start the year out, you're thinking, oh man, I really want to do all these trips. How are we going to make it come to pass? All of it has come to pass. More are adding as the year goes by. And we didn't think about it at the beginning. It was like, how's we going to pull this off? We have to be here. We have to be here. And then you can remember last year, we were in all of these cities in the month of May. So you figure we went from Colorado to Florida to New York, to Buffalo, New York, and we got to visit in Canada. And there was someplace else we went in the midst of all that. But we got to go
Boston.
all these places. We went
New
to
Hampshire.
Boston too, New Hampshire. So we went to all of these places. And even when we were in New York, we got to go to Staten Island, and on the ferry, we went to Brooklyn, and then we went to Long Island, and then I went back to Coney Island where I used to go. So all of these things we did just last year, not realizing or even thinking about how we're going to do it. It's like, okay, let's do this. This sounds like fun. And even for this year, it's like, oh yeah, we want to do that. And then to have this 3-night stay and to be able to enjoy my birthday in Jamaica, and then go to Atlanta and go, oh yeah, that's right. We've been to North Carolina and Raleigh and all these places that we've been just in this past year that we wanted to go. And it's because we looked at it and it thought, okay, well, how are we going to do this with time? And then being back for my father's birthday and being able to take him to Myrtle Beach where he was able to enjoy himself. And so all of those things that you want to do, there's nobody limiting you but yourself. And if you just look at it and figure it out, it's all possible. Not to mention the 3 days, the 7-day night stays that you have accumulated from just being in this business. So I was playing around the other day because we activated another one, which allows us now to look at all these different places. And there is a very nice place down in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And it seems like a really nice place. So Ron, you need to mute because we can hear your conversation. So
I'm sorry.
It seems like a real. Go ahead. Oh, he moved. So yeah, so that even seems like a very nice place, and we might even think of doing that at the end of the month. Just going down there and enjoying that 7-day night stay because we can drive there. It's only a 2-hour drive, and we could be down there for the whole week and just enjoying the facility. It's a beautiful townhome where it had 2 bedrooms, full kitchen. So, and not to mention Hilton had, you know, it has the beaches right there and all the different things that we can do. So who knows? That might be on our calendar to go at the end of the month or in the next couple of weeks. But that's what's so great about our business here, is that you can do those things. You can determine what you want to do. Travel is so much fun. And of course, everybody always put their best pictures out there when they do travel. And it just makes you go, oh, I want to go. I'm ready to go. I need to go. And so that's what you want to really do when you sit back and does somebody want to say something?
Yes, Brenda. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's a saying, it says, if it's going to be, it's up to me.
That's true.
We absolutely have to take advantage of what we are paying for, the benefits and the privileges of being in this business, our weekly stays. Don't let circumstances hinder you. Find a way to make it happen. We're seeing our team members starting to do exactly what you're talking about, getting out there, traveling, using their benefits. You know, everyone's situations are different. You know, before we do anything, we have to make serious arrangements for travel for our loved ones back here to be taken care of and all of that. But you know what? We don't let that stop us. We find a way to make it happen. So maximize your benefits. Back to you, Brenda.
You know what is interesting about that? Ron, were you saying something? You're on mute now.
How's that? Can you hear me
Yes.
now?
I can.
What Brenda was saying, or Glenn was talking about taking advantage of. Um, Someone came up to us in church, and word's getting around that Lynn and I are travel agents, and he came up to me and says, "Well, next year's our 50th wedding anniversary, and we want to go to we want to go to Italy, but is there some way you could do like Italy and Greece? I've heard there might even be cruises." Well, you know what? I had some question. Okay, we always talk about how we have the concierge service. I went to Manatee, went to the back office. Most everybody's ever heard of a company called Trafalgar. They're a great tour company, international. Can you see what that one is? That's the best of Italy. And here, this is one that they add on. You can add on the best of Italy and Greece. So this company, I made a phone call, got a hold of a gal who 2 days in a row called their customer service department. I got the same gal. That's so unusual. Anyways, I gave her the details in general, when, where, and all that. And now I have 2 quotes and 2 brochures complete with all the details of somebody who wants to go to Italy, spend 15 days in Italy and go longer and go on a cruise and go to Greece. I could there it is, folks, done. Also, if they decide to do it, there's small things, details to take care of, like, we're going to sell them insurance, all that. But I got that done. Well, it turns out my therapist, she's Italian, and her husband's Italian, and he used to be the mayor of a small city here in New York, and he retired, and now he's just doing some part-time work. So, anyways, I pulled one of these copies of this brochure of going to Italy to them. Now, all of a sudden, they want to see about going, and they have a friend that might want to go. If we get 9 people together on a cruise, on a trip to Italy, we go free. Now, we talk about taking advantage of what we have to offer. Oh, but in the middle of this, my new neighbors came over. They said, "Oh yeah, we want to go on a honeymoon next year to Hawaii. Can you put that together?" Turns out this Hawaii, I don't know which. There's lots of places to go to Hawaii. I have no idea what's good. So I called Jennifer back. So she's putting together the whole package for us. I don't have to do a thing. We just walk over and say, which do you want and how much you want to spend? And there's about $3,000 in commissions between the 2 of those. Not a bad thing for part-time work.
Nice.
We are in the travel business.
Wow, that is awesome. And that's what's so fun about our business, is because when you're working with clients who know where they want to go, and pretty much know where they want to go, because usually if someone knows where they want to go, They've already been thinking about it. They put the funds aside. And like we know all the key questions that you have to ask, where, when, and what's your budget? How many people? And you can start like that. I know I love Pleasant Holidays because I will turn somebody over to Pleasant Holidays in a minute. And it's quick. They go, they do the information, they email you a nice little spreadsheet, if you want to call it, itinerary of what people can do and where in the 5-star, 4-star hotels if they want to stay there, and how much it'll cost per person. And that makes it so simple. And then, of course, you know, you do have clients that are not that simple, but then it's up to you to decide if you want to work with them. You don't have to work with everybody. You could say, no, I'm good, or here's the phone number, you can call this, and then you're done, and you're not wasting a lot of time. But usually people know what they want, and they know how to do it. And that's what's so great about our business when you get into working with different clients. And again, that's something you could do if you want to. I know I prefer not to work with a client. If I do, I want to just send them over to Apple Vacation, Pleasant Holiday. Ron, I'm going to have to get that name of that young lady that you're working with because we have different things like that. We could just call people up. They'll do the work for us. I know I've been getting a call from, I don't remember her name. I think it's Cindy from Expedia Tap. And Expedia Tap, like we talked about a few weeks back, is now partnered with Travmanity. And so they're wanting to work with us because they can also do those whole little group trips and different things like that. So once you find what works best for you, what you're comfortable doing, then it's so easy to do. And then that way, when you're talking to people and they say what they're looking for, now you know where to plug them in. Does somebody else want to share?
Brenda, I got one more thing I'd like to share as soon as I can get her in the picture. Linda?
Hello.
Like everybody know, I'm going to make an announcement. The other day, Linda was in her office. I'm out in the living room here on my little table desk. And she comes out and she goes, oh, by the way, I finished. She's been going in her office on a daily basis, a couple different times a week. And as of Tuesday, she has now become a certified Carnival Cruise agent. And the reason she did the work, now all of a sudden she got her certificate. And so she went through the courses, and there were like, I don't know how many electives there were, but she really worked hard at that. But I'm so proud of her. And now we're in better position when we book with Carnival. There are some perks that are coming around to us.
Oh, nice.
And we got to
the
know more.
Understanding. There's so much good information. So now I'm going to get on to other ones and learn about the other things too. So.
Oh yeah, Princess.
Yeah, I want to do Princess next.
Get the 2 free cruise for 2 anywhere they cruise.
Yeah, Carnival, you really don't get any. You get some points, but here all these Carnival cruises that we booked for ourselves and other people.
I know.
I could have gotten, so I could have gotten extra points for all that. So, but now I will.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's nice that you can actually acquire skills to pay the bills.
And I know where all the information is. So now if I have a question on anything, I'll check there first. Of course, I can always email Amy Shortell, which I would be doing also.
Oh yeah, she's awesome too.
She is.
Wow.
She's an executive of the company. It's great to have that kind of contact.
I know,
with the organization. Yeah. And she's just like, she's like one of us.
She really is. She's so down to earth. Wow, that's awesome.
So the reason Linda took that is we do have, as many of you know, I'm the president of, it's called the Hope Collection, a foundation that my close friend, and by the way, the person who referred Linda and I to Rick and Brenda Reese, I don't know, 7 years ago or so, we had kind of met over the phone, on Burl Walk's radio show. Rick used to go on that show. And so I knew who Rick was in terms of, who he was in background. But I didn't know anything about the travel business then. And Joel said, hey, everybody knows this term, you got a guy.
I got a guy.
Well, I got a guy. And Rick Reese became my guy because we called him because we got a guy. We're traveling the world and we're making money and we're doing things. We're involved in people's lives. We're leading out our walk that the Lord has us to do in our life. We're walking out His will, all because I got a guy. Thanks, Rick.
Anytime.
I love that. I got a guy too.
Yeah.
I got a few guys, okay? I'm going to use that. Whoa.
I got a guy.
I got a gal. I got a gal.
I got a gal.
There you go.
Come on. I love it. We are not alone here, right? It is absolutely. I'm out here walking and the thing keeps kicking me out. I said, okay, it's not going to let me in the Zoom. I'll get on the phone. When the phone kicked, I said, look here, you're not going to beat me today. Look here.
Amen.
Amen.
I said, get back in there again. I just had to laugh at that. I said, we bad. And out here walking, Brenda, getting it in. And it is so beautiful out here, right? But I absolutely love the way we actually can get on here on Thursday, bring these wonderful nuggets. We're always learning something.
Always.
And I am loving watching Monique over here in Europe. And this lady has been with us 1 year, okay? She came here with purpose. She knew why she came, and she's walking it out.
Wow.
And we have another one that she just stays in the air. The one out of that one right there is out of New York. She is literally a year out from retirement. Look, we're getting all these baby boomers and people retiring. They're running in here. The one out of Virginia who just met Dr. Christopher Coakley. Matter of fact, I'm going to post pictures of Monique with Dr. Christopher Coakley at the event in New York. They are going out here and meeting their company.
That's nice.
Called A Clue. I'm just saying, I was looking at pictures yesterday and it just brought me to tears when I saw how many places we had been with our team here since 2007 and how rich we have become in relationship and experience. It has been absolutely phenomenal, even for our children. And on that note right there, I love seeing my daughter just decide she's going to do a staycation. She will pack up, take her little 3 days, take her little partner, and they go find the most luxurious hotel and get on the water. Come on, somebody. Talking about taking advantage of the benefits we have here. It is absolutely phenomenal. Go out here. There is so much. Every time I turn a page, I am finding another beach in Washington State around the corner from it. I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
Waterfalls. Oregon has more to offer than I did. I had no idea that Oregon had as much as it has. And because Travel and Tourism magazines are sharing a lot and they keep showcasing the Pacific Northwest lately, and we're learning that there is so much more here that you can experience. Not to mention, I don't know about you people that love these concerts, as Glenn and I love. We love us some jazz. We got favor in that. We go up in the jazz and people start talking to us from the set, talking about they laying over here in the cut. We were just having a ball, enjoying life, people, because life is coming at you. You got to find a way to find your happy. Some company use that. Find your happy.
You do.
People want to get around that happy experience, that happy feeling. It's a flow. I don't know what to call it, but you can actually run up into it, go sit in the park like we're going to do today. There's going to be a wonderful concert out here. DuPont is always doing something the whole summer.
Nice.
And so we're going to experience that. You may get to see a piece of that. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
Nice. I think that's
awesome.
Hey, you know what? On Charles Nicholson's call on Tuesday, and he has those calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or his Zoom, there was testimonies going on. There's a guy that they signed up that was on their team. He hadn't been in the business that long, but he started to wake up to what he had in his hands. And he decided to book a cruise for his family. And he put that out there, and they had not done that before. They were positive, they responded, and he invited family members onto to the Zoom. And at the end, the niece was on there with her mother, which was his aunt. And they asked the question, his aunt was about to retire as a school teacher. And they started asking questions about how were you able to do this? I want to know more. I'm getting ready to retire. Tell me more. Nice. I'm interested in getting started doing this. So, and that's the way it kind of happens. You know what I mean? Once the word gets out there, people, they ask the questions. So get the questions answered and get them going. Back to you, Rick.
That's true. I mean, because people will respond to their needs and not ours, not our desire and our urgency, but they respond to their needs. I know when and Ron mentioned Joel Griffin, the founder of the Hope Collection, and I heard him speaking on Burl Walk's radio show, multi-gazillionaire Burl Walk, and Joel was speaking, and so of course Joel had mentioned Ron and Linda to me, and Ron says, he says, I got a guy, and yeah, I'm the guy. And but one of the things that is so interesting about that whole story in meeting Ron and Linda, Ron had promised Linda a trip to London, to England, you know, when they was getting married, and they went, and then 10 years later, he says, I'm going to take you back. But Ron had a vision, and like you're saying, Glenn, it's when the vision connects with the opportunity. You know, we've got the opportunity, but there's people out there that have a vision for something, and but just let them know, you know, this is what everything is received. There's no assertion. There's only attraction, and when we just let them know, then they're like, ah. And so Ron and Linda, when they heard about the travel business, the next thing I knew, they were over in Europe. Like, where's Ron and Linda? Well, they're on a cruise, Viking River cruise, cruising the Rhine. They're in Amsterdam at Anne Frank's house. You know, they're eating chocolates and all you can eat cream of wheat. But it connected to the vision, you know, and that's all our job is to put it out there, and it will connect to the appropriate vision. Back to you, Brenda.
That is so true. All you have to do is put it out there. You know what I love to say and what I love to think about is we don't know the next people that are going to soar in our travel business. We have not met them yet.
It's true.
And even though on Charles Nicholson Call, one of his downlines had an aunt, but if he had not put that out there, he would not have known that she was thinking, you know, I'm getting ready to retire. What am I going to do? I do not want to sit home and watch the grass grow. Right. And so even that idea and meeting her, if he didn't take that one step, he would not have known, and that's his aunt, you know, but still he would not have known what she was ready to do. So I think when we get excited about who we're going to meet, because we don't know them yet. We don't know them yet. We haven't met them yet. And or the situation hasn't happened where they're going to say, oh, okay, hey, wait a minute, I'm ready to do that. Or even the situation haven't happened where we have people in our business where the light goes on again. And they say, wait a minute, I'm sitting on this gold mine. I remember now. So that hasn't happened yet. So I think when we get excited about the unknown, See, because you could either be afraid of the unknown or you could be excited about the unknown. And when you get excited about the unknown, because now you're expecting the unknown to be exciting. See, the unknown does not have to be terrifying and woe is me and oh my goodness, what am I going to do then? We put that out there. So don't put the unknown as something scary and something not good. Put the unknown as, oh, this is going to be great once I figure this out. So I think it's all our mindset and how we see things and how we look at things. And I think when we start looking at the unknown as a positive, looking at the unknown of excitement that's going to happen, then that's what's going to come. The unknown will be great. It'll be exciting. It'll be something that you've been looking for, but you didn't know it. And so I love to say, you don't know what you don't know, because if you know, you would know it. So you don't know it because we don't know. And so when ideas come to your mind, it might seem silly to you, but move on it. Don't wait. Do it. It's getting ready to help you with the unknown. And I think if we realize that the unknown is what's exciting, because just when Chantal was saying that there was a free concert going on right where they are there in DuPont, that they can walk over and listen to the music, there has to be something like that in Charleston. So when she said that,
You know
I thought,
that.
oh, you know it. It's just
A lot of it,
I don't
actually.
know it, a lot. And just because I don't know it, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And so just like we didn't find out about the Juneteenth that they were having downtown until we started looking for the Juneteenth that they were having downtown. And so we slowed our roll. Well, I slowed my roll on trying to check out every last restaurant down here, because that was getting a little heavy. That was getting a little heavy. But we could definitely go and see what type of, because this place down here, it's just a mecca of entertainment, and the way they entertain the tourists is such a big business down here with the tourism, and there's always something going on downtown to see and to enjoy. There's so many beautiful parks here. We have one that's only 20 minutes away called the Riverfront. We walked that one time, and I think we need to walk that again. They had a big 4th of July party down there where they did fireworks, and they had the food trucks. Look, talking about food, and those food trucks are no joke. It's almost like somebody's mom put their kitchen up in that truck, and the food that comes out of those food trucks are crazy. But it's so fun to be able to do stuff like that. So when I talk about you don't know what you don't know, you don't know what you don't know. Ask Google, take a search, find out what's going on, go out, meet people. Just start a conversation, exchange information. One thing that has been funny lately is when we're getting, we were leaving a store, and there was a gentleman there looking for donations for PTSD. And so, Rick, he had to stop, and he gave a donation, and he started talking to the guy. And so Rick wants to introduce him to fundraising. So he pulls his card out. He goes, "You have a pen?" And the young man's like, "No, I don't have a pen." And he said, but he picked up his phone. He said, "But I got a phone." And so they exchanged information with the phone. So that makes me smile. And that has happened to us several times now. Even when we were at the family reunion, Rick's cousin was, "Oh, I need to give you my information. You got a pen?" Everybody's looking for a pen. And I said, "Well, we have a phone. Put your contact information in the phone, and voila, we're gone." And not to mention AirDrop with these iPhones. All you have to do is click AirDrop, and whatever you want to send goes right to that phone that you're pointing at. It's crazy technology. So that's what I mean. You don't know what you don't know. So to be able to just get out there and think of the unknown with excitement, with such excitement, and how powerful your dreams are. That's another thing that Neville talks about. He talks about when you go to sleep, start thinking, because I don't know what everybody listens to before they go to sleep. But that is before that REM sleep, I forget now exactly what it's called. That's a very powerful part of your, I want to say sleep process, but it's more powerful than that. Because when you're getting ready to go to sleep, you're going to think about that. That's right there. That's the last thing you're thinking about as you're going into that REM sleep. So you want to make sure you're thinking about something positive, something good. So find, even if it's, you're reading a book or whatever the case may be, or you just want to write in your journal all the great things that you want out of life, whatever it is, make sure it's something positive that you're doing right before you go to sleep. Even if that's the time where you're praying and you're thanking God for your blessings, or you're asking God for something and you're seeing it happen and you're feeling how it's going to feel when it comes to pass. That's a powerful time. So dig into the research of that. I cannot begin to explain to you the correct way until I learn more about it, how powerful that is. Because I'm all about learning something new and how powerful that brain is. So you want to look into what is going on right before you go to bed and you're in that nice little state. When people meditate, that is the state that they get in, that state of just before you fall asleep. That's where meditation is. It's a real relaxing state of mind, and it's a powerful state to be in. But look into that. Research it out for yourself, because you'll be surprised how powerful your mind is. And we listen to Joe Dispenza and all these different people who believe in meditation and who believe in just relaxing. It's a great way to relax. Take a minute, just chill out, and just feel how good that'll feel when you start thinking about positive things and you start thinking about how is it going to feel, whatever it is you want. See, because I could throw out all of mine. I could tell you, front and center, this and that. I want it this way. I want it that way. But that's mine. So you have to decide what yours is. What are you driving? Where are you living? What, maybe you might want to stay where you are, but what's around you? What does it look like? What does it feel like? You have to determine what that is. And when you sit back and you start meditating on that, and you start thanking God for all your many blessings, that's a great feeling. That is a great feeling. All I can say is that's such a great feeling. But if you start taking your time,
right,
and I know
Brenda.
a lot of, man, isn't that a great feeling?
It is something about that feeling. It is a great feeling. And when you experience, when you experience these new things in your life, it is an amazing, just like when you went to that Juneteenth event that you kind of walked into, what an experience that was. You know what I mean? And it's like there is so many new things that are waiting for us to say, come on, I'm beckoning you, come on, experience this so you can bring your people so they can have some fun too. But you know what? When we're talking about I'm laughing so hard, and then you just reminded me, I got a call yesterday from a lady that was in our company, in our team. And she says, I'm trying to three-way my daughter in. She says, we want to book a cruise and we want to go for my birthday celebration to Hawaii. And you know what? Back in the day, I would have said, well, you get paid for that. I said, any way you want to bless us. I say yes.
Right.
We are going to book that trip. Yes, sir. Get it done. And another one called, and she's like, now we have known this lady. She is absolutely family, live next door to us in Panama City, Florida. OMG, family found us on, your people will find you. She found us on the Facebook, and you couldn't see her, but she kept hitting on our post. And I said, Glenda, you know who this is? And she was hitting all on our family members. I'm like, who is this? Then she finally said, "It's me." And this lady is in Atlanta, living her best life. I'm serious. She is living it, loving it. And I think we showed her, I sent her a clip about 10 years ago. She wasn't ready. She said, "Sis, I'm not really ready right now. I got too many things going on." Well, she called us Saturday. And she said, "Tell me a little bit more about, she says, I have been watching you guys probably all the years you've been in this company. And I love what I'm seeing." She said, "I experienced some of that." She says, "But the most important thing is I'm retiring in a year." She says, "I'm getting started Saturday. I want to build the travel company. I want to bring in an income towards my retirement." But she said, "I really want to travel a lot too. And my family," she said, "we just booked a yacht for her sister's retirement. And I'm telling you, exclusive." And she says, "We're already doing it. It's time to get paid." I said, "Sure, you're right." So she said, "Let's do it. Let's get me started on Saturday, get me in my training. Let me get going. Let's roll." Didn't call her up. We're looking for her. I'm telling you, people are watching your posts. Share your post. Yes. Share our post. Share your leadership post. Share Chris Coakley's post. Share everybody. Go on my page and see how many people I share. If bonuses go by, I share them. We are one company. I wish people could catch that. Whatever is yours is yours. Nobody's going to get your people. I can't think like that. That's the mindset. I am going to share bonuses in our company because somebody needs to know we're here and we're still here. And then they told me that. They said, "And you guys are bonusing in that company." We're sitting on a yacht with people celebrating another lady's birthday Saturday. And the lady told me that. And you know what I told her? I said, "And so can you." I said, "Here you are going all over the world." She is literally in Singapore and Thailand this week with her husband. I said, "Why not put that money back in your pocket?" I said, "You guys should really think about that." And that's all I said to her. And her husband had his eyebrows up. So he is really thinking about that. He says, not necessarily to build a company, but on our travel. I said, "That's all we're talking about. That's it." So I left that in her hand. I said, you put it out there and let them respond. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
You never know what they're gonna see, what the hook is going to be. I'm working with a guy now that he saw the car program. And he wanted to know, how can I get me one of those Bentleys? You never know what the hook's going to be. But I just want to take a moment to congratulate and thank Rick and Brenda for who they are. And we're so blessed to be connected, relationship and family-wise. They knocked it out the park on Juliet's call, and the people were just flabbergasted. But see, we got access to this 24/7, and we do not take that for granted. Great job. Back to you, Brenda.
Thanks, hon. That was good. We enjoyed that call. It was fun. And what happens is Rick and I, we just sit down across from each other at the dining room table and just talk. We just have a great time talking and sharing, because I love to get the information out. So thank you for that, Glenn, because that really turns out to be a really great call. We actually, Rick downloaded it and he posted it on his YouTube page. So now it's something that everybody can listen to. We did talk Surge 365 a lot of times, but we didn't talk the compensation plan, because that's another thing now. The company is going through, I don't know what type of changes they're making, but they don't want the compensation plan out there. So even Rick had to take down a couple of videos that talked about the compensation plan. But
Brenda, it's okay for it to be out there. They just need the link for the IDS, the disclosure statement. And so you can post something, but if it's talking about lifestyle or if it's talking about compensation, it's okay. You just have to put the non-disclosure link on there, income disclosure link. So I just delete it. So I'm deleting the ones I don't mind because they're old. But if I have something that I really want to be up, I've been just adding the income disclosure link.
Oh, okay, so that's just that first page that has income disclosure on the top?
Correct.
Okay, good. Well, see, boom, new information. New information. So if you're putting anything out there and it has to do with the compensation plan for Surge 365, just make sure you have that disclaimer on there. Because we have we've been posting up on YouTube for so many years that it's amazing how they're finding all these old videos that we posted, wow, way back in 2020 when we were doing conversations from home with Laura and Mariano and I don't remember. Yeah, Chantal and Glenn, I think you guys did a couple of conversations from home with us. And those were fun. Those were fun conversations from home. And what it did, it helped us because nobody could really go anywhere. So we were able to get together on Zoom, have conversations and talk to each other and share our different travels and different things going on with the company. So it was just like this call, but only thing it was a Zoom call and we were able to see each other because that was definitely a time when we could not get together. You know, we could not have the meetings where you were face to face with people. So that's when Zoom started really becoming very popular. Skype was another one that people were using. But even now, it still is holding its own, that whole type of communication, the whole FaceTime, the whole Zoom, because, and I'm quite sure there's others ways out there that people are communicating with video that I might not be familiar with, but I'm quite sure there's a lot because that is something that people are doing now because it takes away that, let's get into the hotel now, let's try to get everybody to fly here, fly there. You can get so much information just by doing a Zoom call, just by doing a Zoom meeting. People are still working from home and doing the Zoom calls for office meetings and different things like that. So that just shows you how, even though that was not a good time, that one positive thing, and I'm quite sure there's a lot of others that came out of that time. People now know how to use Zoom. Whereas before that all happened, it was like, hey, here's the phone number. You have to go download a Zoom app. Wait a minute, here is it. So people had to literally walk through how to do it. Now it's almost second nature to so many people that have their own Zoom account, already have their picture if they don't want to be seen. Because I know I'll throw my Zoom picture up there in a minute if there's a Zoom call and it's like, okay, I'm not camera ready. Here, look at this picture. But it's really
Brenda,
interesting how
we were so far ahead of the game. We had been Zooming for years before the pandemic hit. It's just setting it up, leading it right back. So in other words, we were already ahead of the game and we still are. So keep pressing.
Yes.
Back to you, Brenda.
Absolutely.
So
you know, one thing I'm finding the last three people didn't have to talk them into anything. They called me, okay? It was a phone call. It was not a Zoom. It was a conversation. They had already been watching. A lot of the people that come to us, even now, we had one of the people at our church come and say, hey, our 50th anniversary is coming up and I want you guys to book that for us. I didn't come up to her. They are watching you and they believe in you. They see what you represent. They see your integrity. You're running around with these people. And so they're entrusting you with them. Okay? And it's so simple. It's hard in places, but it is simple to share what we all do. When we came into the company, it was so simple because we were already traveling. All these people that are coming right now are already traveling. The luxurious people that Nick Nicholson is talking about, already multimillionaires, already traveling. He didn't have to talk to this guy. This guy came up to him in the Starbucks. And he says, what are you doing? I see you here every week. I could be that person. Glenn could be that person. The people in DuPont know us. Your city should know you're there. They should see you in a restaurant. They should see you in a store. They should see you somewhere, but they see us in the tea house. They see us in the park. They're like, who are these people? These are my neighbors. And I just say, hey, neighbor, don't make it so hard.
Mhm.
Hey, neighbor. And people just, and it's funny when I first did it because they just look and they like, oh, she's speaking to me. And I saw somebody move across the street. It's like, hey, neighbor. And it was so hilarious the way he was, he said, hey, neighbor. And I'm like, that's all it is. That's all it is. They're either looking for something. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, just almost brought me to tears because there are some other doors out here. And this person is a single mom going through a divorce, and she has to work from home. But guess what? She says, I need to work from home, but I need medical. I was like, man. And that is what they need. They have to have a coverage. And so there are so many different levels of desires and wants, but people need finances and they need covering benefits to cover their children. Because now they're out here literally thrown out here by themselves. So that's some of the things that's coming along, and the solution is coming. It will be answered, and we will be able to serve these people too. I believe that.
Oh yeah. It's really here already where you better find another source of income. You
That's
better
true.
have something else that's bringing cash into your home. And even though we had a question, I think someone asked Rick the question the other day, where someone's on a fixed income and they can only make a certain amount of money before they hit the threshold, and they didn't want to bother with their fixed income. Well, we responded with, cross that bridge when you come to it, because if your fixed income is you can't make more, so for Social Security, don't quote me on this, but it's anywhere between $24,000 to $50,000 a year, depending on how much money you're making on Social Security. Now, if you hit those numbers, then contact them and say, I have my own little side business. I've made this much already this year. What do I do? Do I cancel what I'm getting now? Or do I, pay taxes on it at the end of the year? Why be nervous about something? Why think about something that you don't? Go ahead, darling.
Like I say, there is a way to you can control that. You can get
Yes.
into the business, you can work the business. It's your control. You can control it where you can stay under the numbers that you're supposed to make.
Here, folks.
So it's good for anybody if they want to get in and they can only make a certain amount, make enough
Brenda?
that makes you comfortable.
Rick
Go
and
ahead,
Brenda
go ahead.
and everybody, this is Ron Clayton. I want you to know the answer to this. What happens is these programs that people get and they get dependent on, they're scared. What happens is the people who run them they really don't know what they're telling people. You can get an income, and it says we have a limit on how much you can make. What that does is that puts people in that position. They're scared to do anything. The fact of the matter is, if you make more money than you're getting from that report, well, you don't need it. The idea is to get off it. The idea is we have a system that allows people to get beyond it and make more. What you do is you just, whatever money you make, let's say you make more than they say you can make, just pay them the difference because you made more. The idea is not to keep people down. The idea is that we're lifting people up and getting out and over. That's called, I hate to tell you this, everybody, it's slavery. We got to beat that. That's what we're about.
Good.
And also, it all depends on which.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, darling. Go ahead,
It all
darling.
depends on which one you're on. Social Security, it all depends on which one, how you qualify for Social Security. Because like myself, my Social Security, I have no limit, but I do get a pension that if I bring in anything, doesn't matter, $500-600, they want to penalize me for that pension. So when I do mine, I just make sure that when I'm doing travel and everything, that I make it that I'm not going over the amount that I know that I won't be penalized for.
Right.
So it's up to that person that's getting it. And, and like I say, it all depends on what type of Social Security that you're getting.
That's good.
And also I wanted to say on I 5 or 6 years ago, I planted some seeds. That is with Surge. And you plant a seed, you forget about it, and it grows out to be a beautiful flower. I have my our district president for the women. She has called me wanting to get into the travel. What she's getting ready to retire and she wants to do something. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And also I have our state convention. We're about to have a convention over in Spokane for a few days, and they didn't have anyone to do the housing. And so I did ask. They finally did, do it. But when I asked who is the person that does the housing for the state, they had no one. Well, it's up to whoever is, wherever it's going to be. Like if it's going to be in Seattle, the person in Seattle is over it. So now I'm going to be meeting with them tonight is one of our first days. We're over in Bremerton, and I'll be meeting with them tonight to each one of these to see how they would like to go forward. And I planted this seed. I introduced them to Surge like 5 or 6 years ago. No one picked up no one watered, or anything like that. So I guess finally they watered that seed, and now it's starting to grow.
Wow.
And also when you were talking about praying for people, we have a new pastor and we have altar call every Sunday. And he's changed it that you come down, you pray for what you want. That's your prayer. He said, I can get up here and I can pray all day. I might not even hit on what you want me to pray for. So you have to be responsible for that. He'll let us, silently pray for a couple of minutes, and then he'll come in and just say, oh, overall prayer, and we're through. But he said that is so true. He can get up there and pray all day and not even hit on what I want him to pray for. So you have to do that yourself. And so this is just like with Surge. You got to back up yourself. Back to you, brother.
Yeah.
It is to be, it's up to me.
That's true. That is
One of the things
is so true.
Well, I was just going to just say, and it's just so beautiful hearing people talk, and we all have been in this for a while, and have really observed each other's growth. And I believe one of the greatest benefits we all get from this is self-development and growth. And like you're saying, Darlene, realizing you can't push people, but you can plant a seed, and then that you can have the patience to wait until somebody waters it, and not to try to pull the thing up out of the ground or whatever, or check it, pull it up, put it back, put it up, but to allow it to grow. And I think we're seeing that in all of us, that we're all not the same people when we first started. And like you were saying, Chantel, when the phone kept kicking you out, but it's like, but you're not going to defeat me though. And the persistence that we have in everything, knowing that there's going to be resistance, knowing that there's going to be, barriers, whether they're real or not, and most are not, whether there's something ahead of us, and like Linda completing the carnival training, and the stories that she has from that, and all the people that they're attracting. And one of the most important things, and I believe this, that we become and then we attract. We become and then we attract. And so we can actually control the people that show up, the situations that show up, by becoming. And that's what I'm doing, actually. And that's what Brenda's doing. That's what all of us are actually doing. As we become more visible. And God makes us visible and more visible. It's almost like taking on a responsibility, to serve people by becoming, and then the people, connect to that. And at each level, as we go higher and higher and higher, more people connect to that. And so it's all by becoming. Darlene, listening to you, and today versus before, when you was really silent, but observing, but listening to the, after the seeds that you've planted, how you've grown, and how you become so confident in booking travel, and the growth is just amazing. And I thank the Lord for that growth that I'm actually seeing, and how we didn't stop, none of us, even during COVID. And so COVID was, yes, For a lot of people, it was a tough time, and we recognize and acknowledge that. But we didn't stop. We just shifted to conversations from home, right? And because it's a real travel business, we benefited, because it's a real travel business during that time. So it was one of the best times of our life, But just the growth, and then listening to Glenn, yes, we are visionaries, and we got to understand that we are out in the future, but we're out in someone's future waiting for them to catch up. When they catch up, then, it's all cool. We've been here. We've been trained. We've been rehearsing. We've been ready. We've been preparing for you. And that was one of the things the Lord told me a while ago. He says, Rick, all I need you to do, not chase people, but prepare a home, like a mother hen, prepare a home that people can actually come and rest. People can come to. Just work on the home and I'll send the people. And
That's so true.
the other thing is our timing is perfect. And when we declare our timing is perfect, things are changed to accommodate. Even if you're late for something or you're rushing for something, when you declare, but my timing is always perfect, you'll find that there was a delay, there was a something, there was a this, there was a that. And what it does is it takes away that anxiousness and that worry toward whatever that is, just by the common statement, my timing is perfect. What I appreciated about you, Brenda, at the beginning of the year, when we had all these different events, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got these guys coming to visit. I got this, I got that. Ron, we was looking to try to make it out for Memorial Day. We had like 5, 6 events. And then Brenda said, but you know what? We're going to do them all. I went, what?
And you did.
That. It was a decision that we're going to do them all. And you know what happened? The ones that we didn't have to do fell off. And, and I knew this, but it actually still reinforced and taught me something, is that you just don't say no to when perceived barriers appear. You just say, well, I'm going to do it. And it will stand or live or die on its own merit. You know what I mean? But it's an attitude, So Brenda, when you had said we're going to do them all the ones we had to do stood, and the ones we didn't have to do fell off.
Yep.
Wow.
Hey, Rick,
Go ahead.
there really are, there are ways to get around the limits, the so-called limits that they continue to try to put upon you and your income and all that. Of course, the government and the income is connected to your Social Security number. And we shared this before. One way to get around that, if you got a nonprofit, it's not that hard to start one, then it's connected to an EIN number, not your Social Security number, and you can make as much money as you want over there. That's one way to get around. Another thing I wanted to share from Charles Nicholson's call, and we said it here, Brenda was talking about the income. They want to bring more income when they retire. Well, he talked about the outcome, and he gave the percentages of what the prices of all of your expenses have skyrocketed by percentages. All of your utilities, your gas, everything. And look to see how much more, how many thousands of spending power you have lost here just in the last year. Now that is eye-opening. How are you going to replace that?
That's
Back to you, Rick.
Yeah, that's good. Man, what a perspective. That's an excellent perspective.
Rick,
How are you going to replace that?
Rick,
Someone?
this is Ron.
Go ahead.
First of all, I just hope everybody understands my passion. My heart crumbles when I hear people say things like, I can't because some bureaucrat or government or some entity is holding somebody back. It just tears me apart. And so I have a lot of passion that when I hear anybody that doesn't understand, Glenn, you said there's a way to overcome it. And there is. And most of it is clarification and knowing the knowledge. But there are people who are in positions will make statements. Then people, they follow it and say, well, I can't. It's not true. Like you said, you gave us one of the solutions, create a nonprofit or get affiliated with a nonprofit, and you're free to do it. We want to free people up. Our whole key, we talk about every Travel Tuesday and on the Optimize My Life radio show. We're freeing people up, letting God work through them and fulfill their dreams. And their dreams are not controlled, except the enemy tries to do that. So I have passion when I hear that people would actually still state that. I was hopefully got to a point where we can know with such confidence that that's a solvable issue. That's something that can be overcome legitimately, honestly, and we can proudly say that. And I get excited because we can get people on the other side of that. That's what the fight in life is all about, is getting free. And that's who we are.
Amen.
Thank you. And on the other side of that, let's not forget, this is an exclusive membership club. There is no limits. One of our websites says, to get to our business, we are limitless.com. That's how you get started on our team. There are people out here that are bringing their organization, their resort, their firms into this company. So it's not about everything that's all down on the ground and broken. There are people out here who are exclusive, travelers, speaking, just to write it off on their taxes. They're just looking for the tool. They're seeking out the tool, and we have the tool in our hands. So yes, we're serving people from all realms of life, and that's great. But there are people who are like, the lady was talking to me. Matter of fact, it was the same one that's over here in Singapore right now. She's like, $4.99, that's it? And 99, I said, that's it?
That's no money.
This is what we own, people. When we get confident in sharing that, a lot more, because when we came into this company, that's all we had. It was a $500 package. That's it. Everybody paid that. And it was in the hundreds of thousands people paid that. You hear me? And this company was well over lifting the economy. We were doing that so greatly that it scared the economy. And they said, we got to shut that down. But God wouldn't let it, because there was a righteous one in the room.
Amen.
And all he would do was say, get on your knees and pray. We're going into court, because they couldn't stand prevail against us. When you're doing what's right, do what's right. He will back you up. We beat all of that. But we have a great gift in our hands for whoever will receive it. You figure out, because when we came here, we didn't have the money right now, but the decision was made in that room. Soon as we saw it, the decision was made. It's like, oh, the money's coming. We're getting in such and such date. We were in immediately. So the people who are looking for this, they will find their own way. You don't have to drag nobody. You don't have to talk nobody into it. This is my position. This is how I'm postured. If you come before me and you tell me, like a person told me the other day, oh, this is a pyramid scheme, I shut it down. I did not try to talk you into anything. I could have went all over. I said, I'm not doing that. You make your decision. But whatever, I've learned this from Rick. Whatever they tell you first, because I'm not going to work that hard, because I'm going to have to keep trying to convince you that this is not that. And that's not what I'm doing. I made that decision that this is the best thing out here in this industry. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
That's all I could do. And I just said, thank you, and went on about my business that day. Okay, I'm serious. You either want to,
yeah.
You know, I
not worth the energy.
It's okay.
I was talking to a lady yesterday, and she was saying with Joe Marcelino, Brenda, she travels a lot. And so I said, now let me ask you a question. Are you traveling wholesale or are you traveling retail? And so she says, what does that mean? And so I said, are you traveling as an insider or are you traveling as a consumer? So she said, I'm traveling as a consumer. And but it wasn't a conversation for me to continue to try to explain anything. I just was asking a simple question. since Joe, I was on because of Joe and talking to her,
Mhm.
but it's amazing how people don't understand that, but she understood I'm traveling as a consumer versus as an insider. The other thing I want to say real quick is that, we are right on time. A lot of people think they're behind. We have people on our team that think they're behind or that they're slow or whatever. But nobody's behind. Nobody's ahead. We're all right on time, and if we can just live our life knowing that I'm right on my time and the things that will come in this time period. I don't have to rush to catch nobody. I don't have to slow down to bring nobody up. I can just live. And like you were saying about Juneteenth, we found the Juneteenth celebration just as a course of just living. Things will come that are supposed to come. Knowledge comes when it's supposed to come. Knowledge is even, I believe, sometimes withheld until we need it. But whenever we need, whatever we need, it shows up. The other thing I want to say before we close is that one of the things that's happening now with our Vortex fundraiser, and we're working with the school that just took it to the principal has approved it. They're taking it to a committee. And I had mentioned this before, where the school is not coming in the business. Someone in the business is basically donating their Vortex to the school, and the school is to promote it. We gave the person that is the campaign manager at the school an option to purchase a domain name, that we're actually going to purchase a domain name. They're coming up with a name for the campaign, the fundraising campaign. So the Surge member who's donating their Vortex is going to purchase a $15 domain name as recommended by the campaign manager at the school. And so once we get the domain name, we'll redirect it to the Vortex link of the Surge member. So the school is not coming out of pocket with anything. They're just agreeing to promote the name. And of course, we have the whole, letter that they can put out, blurbs that they can put out, anything they need, we have for them to be able to put it out on social media, put it out, on the email blast, on the school newsletter. And so, but this is a shift of what we were doing before and saying, okay, you have to come in and you have to spend $4.99 and get your own, Vortex. This is a shift. Another one that I'm working with is a fraternity sorority organization that's having their convention in Dallas, Texas, starting tomorrow. And what I did with them is I actually donated my Vortex link. They gave me the recommendation of a domain name, privatepaidtravel.com. So I purchased privatepaidtravel.com. And so the whole idea that we got 43,000 sororities, fraternities in their organization. And the whole idea is to promote this, to their fraternities, sororities at their convention tomorrow and beyond. We agreed to a split. For the school, we agreed to a split of 75-25. For this fraternity sorority, we just said 70-30. It's whatever you really want. The reward credits come to us. They don't even really know about the reward credits. So we get the reward credits. But this has been a shift. That's an interesting shift. We want them to come in with the business. However, if they don't, and so the way we're able to identify the school is when they register, they're going to put RIV to their first name. The way we're able to identify for the fraternity sorority, when they register, there's a 3-digit, prefix they can put before their first name. And so, we have 3 reports that we get for the Vortex when they first sign up, when they book and the commissions and the commissions due and whatever the booking is, the travel booking is. And then the 3rd report is when a check is sent. But using the customer report, when they register with those 3-digit prefix in front of their first name, that's what will show up on the report. And so we can sort the report by the 3 digits to know, okay, what percentage of the 70%, do we give whomever that is sending these contacts. But this is a shift. And of course, I'm sure because of circumstances, we'll get more shifts in the future. But this has been a great way of getting the Vortex out and using it as a fundraiser. We move billions through the Vortex. Back to you, Brenda.
Rick?
And that's a good one. Go ahead, Ron.
I wouldn't call it a shift, but it's actually a growth, and it shows the flexibility of the program so that we can apply the need. I know when we were in the process of closing the process and initiating the program at our church to use it. And one of the concerns that one of the pastors brought up is, well, someone might perceive that someone's going to get money from this program. And I turned it right back to them. I said, no, the money is coming back to the church. This is giving the church a higher level of giving the idea that you have a responsibility, that you're helping support the church.
Stewardship.
People were going to spend money anyways. The difference is now it's intentional that you're sending money back to the church and the missions. And that makes a whole different look and view of it. It gives it more value.
And what you're doing, and Ron, so the church that Ron is talking about is going to get their own business, their own site. And so they'll have the Vortex to use for fundraising. They'll have the membership to use for staff travel. And of course, they'll have the travel agency, however they want to use that, probably for the, sorry about that, guys.
Yes.
And let me call you right back. And they'll have the travel agency because they're going to have the, that's Mission Possible. But they have the travel agency for the Holy Land trips at some point. But they're going to actually buy the site. But you're right, Ron. This is the flexibility that we have. It's amazing. Our business is amazing. Over to you, Brenda.
It is. And I'll anybody else want to add? Because we're over, so we have to close it out. But I want to add this to all of that. So how we just had the conversation of people saying, well, what if I make too much money and then I'm going to have to play this and that. And so when Rick said, we're getting ready to buy them $15 now, a domain name, I responded, well, long as you switch it over by next year so they can pay, to renew, right? And then Rick said, we'll worry about that when we get there. Because in the meantime, the money that can be made, and that little $15, we get to write that off on our taxes anyway. And then, of course, I said, well, I'm not going to get taxed on all the money that we give them, but you got a W-9 that they fill out. So what's so interesting about all of this is there's a solution for everything. So don't get hung up on what we don't have or see, because remember, what you don't know, make sure that your expectation on the unknown is the fact that it's going to be grandiose. It's going to be great. You're not going to have to worry about it. There'll be so much fun coming in that Ron, the person who made the comment that, what if somebody else is getting money? It doesn't matter. It'll be so much to go around. Like one of Rick's buddies always says, we all will get to eat. So I think if we just keep an open mind and remember that the unknown can be a spectacular thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be a good thing, because with everything, there is a solution. So remember that no matter what you're looking at, no matter what you're coming against, there's always a solution. And make sure that the solution in your mind is a good solution, a great solution, and you'll be able to overcome everything. So, hey guys, we had a great conversation. Anybody else want to share before we jump off? All righty. Well, we had a great conversation like we always do. It never disappoints us on our Thursday call. So look, I want everybody to have a great rest of your day. Remember that we are the most trusted team in Surge 365. We are winners, and we will see each other on the beaches of the world. Everybody have a great rest of your day. All righty. Bye-bye now.
Yes, you will.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a blessed
Bye, guys.
day.